All right, welcome back. Bulldog fans are hoping to ring in the new year with a victory at the Liberty Bowl, and it'll be in Memphis Tuesday, New Year's Eve against Rice. There's been a banner year for that team, winning Conference USA in their first outright title since 1957. Now, Dan Mullen knows Rice doesn't always face the SEC level teams that his team does, but if they're not careful, they may find themselves being clipped by the wings of some owls.
A lot of seniors that have played a lot of football, have experience, are very talented players. They mix in a couple superstar players in there, and they're big receiver, they're running back, they're both corners or NFL players. So and when you do that, you have that recipe of the leadership and the quality of player across the board, and then mix in the right superstars. You have a championship team, and that's what they are.
I mean, you got to practice like they're Alabama and just play if they're any other team, and they can beat us. And on their good day and a bad game, they would beat us. So we just got to stay focused each rep of practice and every day of practice and get better.
And you can see State and hear the cowbells Tuesday at 3:15 p.m. Okay, and tomorrow is Ole Miss, their bowl game, the Music City Bowl from Nashville against Georgia Tech. Now, it was a rough ending to a season that was so promising at one time for the Rebels. After a 4-1 start that included a win over Texas in Austin, Hugh Freeze's bunch sputtered out, ending the regular season on a 2-game losing streak, the exclamation point being a 17-10 loss in the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State. In our What Have You Done For Me Lately society, the pressure is on to perform tomorrow afternoon.
I don't think it's a reflected of exactly where we are. I think we've come a good ways in 2 years' time from where we were, but it's hard to feel that way in the season like we did. So, a win would somewhat erase that feeling. So I think that would be beneficial. But, it's win or lose, it's just one of either in the totality of the journey, which is still in a young stage, in my opinion. So we try not to make too much of it, but it's no question it would certainly help us.
All right, and we're in the NFL now. After dropping 2 of their last 3 games, the Saints went from being in the playoff driver's seat to hoping the new driver, the Carolina Panthers, didn't make 2 suspect lefts and dropped them off at a 6th seed in the postseason, or even worse, no playoffs at all. New Orleans has to do their part, though, at home facing the Buccaneers. A win and you're in situation. And this never hurts. Second quarter, Drew Brees hooks up with Robert Meacham for a 41-yard score, and that puts Brees over 5,000 yards for the 4th time in his career, and he also posted a perfect passer rating today. And if he can find a way to do that when they're on the road away from the Superdome, well, then the Saints would be in business. Another long strike finds the rookie Kenny Stills as the Saints return to the playoffs, 42-17 the final. So the Saints held up their end, and it's time to see if the Atlanta Falcons held up theirs as they meet up with Carolina. Forgot to mention, though, the Panthers' defense is pretty good. Matt Ryan intercepted by Mark White, and he scores the game's first touchdown on defense. And they also sacked Ryan 9 times, the most in Carolina history. That opens things up for Cam Newton just before halftime. He floats it to Ted Ginn Jr. for his first touchdown pass of the day. So that was number 1, and here is the second with Atlanta actually up 17-14. Slam Newton drops back with plenty of time and slings a dart to Greg Olsen for the game winner. Panthers win 21-20, and in the final weeks of the season, they snatch the NFC South title from the Saints, who will travel to Philly to open up the playoffs. And in AFC action now, Peyton Manning and the Broncos, they'll have the number 1 seed if they can beat Oakland. Not exactly a monumental feat to do that. On 1st and goal, it's a dump off to Noshawn Moreno, who does the rest. Broncos up 7-0, and buckle up because Manning took the Raiders for a ride. He needed only 1/2 of play to not only break the single season record for most touchdown passes in a year, but he also posted 4 TDs. That's a 63-yarder to Demaryius Thomas. Denver led this one 31-0 at halftime, and they never looked back. 34-14 the final, and the road in the AFC, at least anyway, to the Super Bowl will go through Denver. And finally, it was the Titans and the Texans, 2 teams probably just happy that the season is about to end. Texans are on their 5th starting running back of the year with just 2 wins. That's Jonathan Grimes bowling his way into the end zone. 7-0 Texans, but the real problem for them has been at quarterback. Matt Schaub in the starting lineup, and on cue, wouldn't you know it, ball's deflected by the one-time Texan Bernard Pollard and into the hands of Akeem Ayers. Hey, you know, at least Schaub didn't throw a pick six like he usually does. Titans with the ball now, and they give it to Chris Johnson, who becomes just the 6th player in NFL history with at least 1,000 yards rushing in each of his first 6 seasons. Titans win 16-10, and you know what, Justin? They may have saved Coach Mike Munchak's job.
Oh, really? Now, with the 2 bowl games coming up, what do you say the score is going to be?
I